You know, today seems like it would be a great day for us to win a gold medal in women's hockey.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
12:10, the puck will drop there in Milan as the United States and Canada will restore their wonderful, friendly hockey match.
I don't want to jump ahead here, but I almost threw up yesterday during the men's game.
Man, that was something else.
I'm not exaggerating. I thought I was going to throw up.
There was some tense moments, to say the very least. I know Conrad wasn't watching. I know Molly was, because Molly was texting USA emojis. She was fired up, just like you and I were.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Freebird the entire time.
Yeah,
You should.
I listen to Freebird in a totally different way now. After the Super Bowl and now for the Olympics.
I still want to get that siren.
That siren is so good.
And the light.
Let's get it for one another for Christmas.
Just cancel each other out.
And then that way we can justify it to our wives.
So the question is, what was Conrad doing? Was he like reading the Communist Manifesto during the hockey game yesterday afternoon?
I'm saying maybe brushing up on some great books of literature. That's what he likes to do in his pastime. With his
Were you reading
his
Tolstoy?
leather slippers?
Is that what you were reading yesterday?
Yeah, that's you know me so well.
Did you watch the hockey?
No, I was packing.
Oh, that's right.
Conrad, you couldn't have it on in the background?
No, I gotta. We're in the final 48 hours now. It's crunch time. We're locked in.
Well, you
Can't
just play it off.
multitask.
You were confident the United States would have no trouble with
That's
Sweden.
right. That's right.
Sweden.
I wasn't worried.
So is the
about it.
hockey team. They're down to the last 48 hours.
Well, good. I wish them well while I'm.
Of all of those
Busy.
years of training,
They've been packing for 4 years, Conrad.
Well, then maybe I should be on the team. It only took me a month.
So I can tell the packing's going well.
the USA men's hockey team, they have been practicing nonstop for 4 years to try to get to this moment in time. Oh, yeah, they're NHL players, aren't they? They probably just introduced themselves to each other like 2 weeks ago.
That's what I have to. I'm reminded constantly watching the broadcast is you have a teammate with a slap shot against a teammate.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool because watching some of the highlights last night, I mean, they're sitting there going, okay, you know, so-and-so Prushnishki,
Yeah.
you know, a goal for whoever. Oh, yeah, he's defenseman for the St. Louis Blues. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for folks like us, me and you, or everybody, I guess, in this room that doesn't watch a ton of hockey, Molly might watch more than anybody else.
I
But
think you're right.
no, it's
I love hockey.
it's a learning experience. I've been very, very entertained by the hockey. I'm cautious in asking this question, but I'm going to ask it. The 3-on-3 in the overtime, is that specific to the Olympics or is that hockey?
I think that's just hockey.
Okay.
I've never seen an overtime game like in my own two eyes, like been to one. So.
All right. I like the 3-on-3. That was fun.
It was. I think just like Major League Baseball about putting a runner at second base, trying to get the game over with quicker. I think that's probably why they go that route. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
According to Google, it was adopted in 2015.
All right. So it hasn't been around since Lord Stanley.
Yeah, it wasn't around for the 1980 Olympic team in Lake Placid.
Yeah. Great
Relatively
documentary
new.
on that team.
Yeah. So we will keep you posted on what's going on over in Milan as the women's hockey team goes up against Canada. That is a 12-10 puck will drop there, which I think technically that's a 7-10 start local time over there. I know the American men are not happy because they are literally, their next game is at 9 o'clock local time, p.m. So.
Yeah, that's right. Just adversity. Just overcome it.
All right, speaking of adversity, last night, the Alabama Crimson Tide, well, that game went a lot of different ways. Bama got up early. You had Alabama fans like Conrad tweeting out that they're going to score 150 points in the game, all that kind of stuff, which they almost did because they didn't know it was going to take double
Hey, after the
overtime.
first 4 minutes, they were on pace to score 150.
They were. And then at halftime, they were scheduled to lose by 20.
That is correct. As you reminded me, life comes at you fast sometimes.
Yes, it certainly does. Arkansas led by 10 at the half, as we just mentioned. They shot 60% from the field. They led by 14 at one point in the second half. But LeBaron Philon, 35 points. Aiden Sherrill, probably his best game as an Alabama Crimson Tide. He was 26 points, 13 rebounds. Played 44 minutes, which that's a lot for him. Houston Millett didn't do something in regulation. He didn't score, but he did have 2 triples, one in overtime and one in double overtime. But it was incredible that one stretch in the second half when Alabama shot 76% from the field. They had 13 straight possessions where they got a bucket. I've never seen that.
I can't remember that either, Pat. But this goes back to why a team like Alabama, not necessarily strong on the defensive end, but you got guys that can shoot. They can shoot their way out of an 18, 20-point deficit, and those are the kind of runs that you see that propel a team and they survive when it comes to March Madness. That's why I think Alabama fans hold out hope. I know we've looked at the Sweet 16, but that particular team, particular matchups, they shoot like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like they've been shooting really, the past 4 or 5 games for the most part?
Yeah, 5-game winning streak.
That's going to carry you a long way. That's a big win last night.
That was huge. Darius,
Allen had some big shots. Aiden Sherrill,
yeah,
he was huge.
Holloway didn't miss.
No?
He made all of his shots and all of his free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Darius Acuff Jr., he was the story in that game, 49 points. That was the most points by a Razorback freshman and the second most ever in the history of Arkansas basketball. That says a lot, and he's a freshman. Alabama's 117 points are the second most points scored in school history for an Alabama basketball team, and it's the most points scored by an Alabama team since 1971.
Wow.
It's been a while, been a minute. So the Tide gets the big win, 19-7 on the season, 9-4 in conference play, 5 consecutive wins. They will travel to LSU on Saturday. It's a 5 o'clock tip-off. The Tigers, who they're playing, are 2-11 in the SEC as they lost on Tuesday to Texas. Let's hear from Nate Oates after the game last night as his Tide, they survive 117-115 in double OT.
Fun game for you guys. I'm sure the fans enjoyed that, at least our fans. But, man, you got to give them a lot of credit because they're down men. I mean, to play a 50-minute game and basically play it with 7 guys. I mean, at the end, they played a couple guys that never really played, so they had to for the foul trouble. You got to give those guys a ton of credit. I mean, Acuff played 50 minutes, scored 49 points. Obviously, our defense wasn't very good. You got to give our guys a lot of credit, too. Aiden Sherrill, who typically hasn't been able to play much over 30 minutes, played almost 40, ends up with 26 and 13. He just hung in there, kept playing hard. So, thought Philon made some big plays late, particularly on the offensive end. Holloway made some big free throws and plays late. Houston Millett didn't score in regulation. Hits a huge 3 to first overtime, a huge 3 to second overtime that essentially sealed it to go to 4 points.
Big win for Alabama. Huge win against the Arkansas Razorbacks. It was interesting. We talked about halftime. It was 57-47 Arkansas. End of regulation, tied at 95. At the end of the first overtime, they're tied at 105. And then, of course, the score that mattered the most at the end of the game, tied 117, Arkansas 115. I tuned into Bo Mattingly's radio show this morning in Arkansas just to kind of get a feeling. And needless to say, they were questioning the discrepancy in the number of free throws that were shot in the game. They were insinuating that Alabama got a lot of interesting calls in that game and got to the free throw line.
But hold on, Hog fans, because I do remember one play in particular, and this would have been an overtime. You had a drive in the lane, and it looked like the offensive player initiated contact and then took the 2 steps. I think he ends up making the basket. And didn't he get the and one on that one?
Yeah, and I mean, there were a few times. There was one where you had the Arkansas guy went up for the rebound, and then he fell, and they called a foul. And I was like, that maybe was questionable. You had the goaltending. They called goaltending, then they reviewed it, they confirmed it, and then they reviewed it again for some reason, and they overturned it. So, I mean, it was just kind of a weird officiating game. But, I mean, I think at the end of the day, Arkansas plays handsy defense. That's just what it is. If you watch them play basketball, they put their hands all over you, and guess what? You're going to get called for that a lot. So,
was it the timeout?
Not really, but
was it the untimely timeout that Arkansas took? Was it Thomas that hit the 3?
Hit the 3-pointer.
Yeah.
You had Calipari tapping the referee on the shoulder asking for a timeout.
Did you see his reaction looking at the bench? And then he realized it was Cal that did it, and so he had to just...
Yep. I will tell you this. I mean, that was The 3 referees in that basketball game last night, those are considered like the 3 best in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
So
You had Chow's. Who else was on
Doug
that?
Schals.
Yeah, Doug Schals. Know him
Yep.
quite well.
So, yeah.
They're TV guys. You see those guys on a lot of big games, and there's a reason why.
Mm-hmm. So Alabama gets the big win. Meanwhile, over in Starkville, Mississippi, you want to talk about a game that we were talking about leading up to last night that Auburn had to win. You cannot go on the road and lose to a Mississippi State team. That going into last night's game, Mississippi State was the second worst ranked SEC team according to the net rankings. They were 94th. And the only team worse than them was South Carolina. And first half was just abysmal. No defense whatsoever. Josh Hubbard, 35 points at halftime. Most points and a half this season of any player in all of college basketball. Like nobody.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before in college basketball. 35. He's outscored Auburn's entire team
Yeah.
in the first half.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So Auburn's down 16 at the half. But then midway through the second half, Auburn goes on a 17-1 run. And then they extended, I think it was a 20-4 run after that. So Auburn actually took the lead back with 8 minutes and 49 seconds to go. And then Auburn led by 7 with 3 minutes and 56 seconds remaining. And based on the defense, and I'll give them major credit, and I know after the game, we'll hear from Stephen Pearl in a second, but I will give them major credit because the defense that they started playing on Hubbard, where you had one guy on him the moment the ball was inbounded.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he got to the midcourt stripe, there was another guy ready to go. Playing a box and one.
Yep.
And then as soon as he throws the ball away, then all of a sudden the second guy peels off back into zone coverage to try to, pick up his guy that he originally was supposed to have. And I thought Auburn did a really good job on him. I mean, they got a hand in his face. You could tell he was not as comfortable as he was in the first half. And now Hubbard did hit the big three-pointer towards the back end of the game.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he had, 11 points in the second half? So
Right.
you can live with that.
Yeah, I mean, so they did their job. They made the adjustments at halftime because when you look at that Mississippi State roster, there's only really 2 guys that can really beat you.
Yeah, it's
It's
mainly
definitely,
him.
It's definitely not McGee who transferred from UAB.
Well,
I can
one
tell
of the
you that.
guys that could have beaten you is actually on your roster, and Keyshawn Murphy, if
Yeah.
you're Auburn. But no, going back to what Josh Hubbard did, I was trying to pull up the box score from last year's game because I do remember a Bruce Pearl post-game interview and talking about what a wonderful job Auburn's defense did on Josh Hubbard. If I remember, Josh Hubbard was almost non-existent. I think it was last year's game.
I think you're right.
But that's the difference. We talked about it yesterday. Guys like Denver Jones, those guys that took pride in that one-on-one defense. And you know what? This is on me. You're not going to get by me. I'm going to limit you. You haven't seen that from Auburn this year. Can't come up with timely stops. And how, when you get a 7-point lead after trailing, and as abysmal as that was, you let that thing slip away under 3? No, this team doesn't deserve to play in the tournament. I don't know what the underlying there's obviously defensive deficiencies. But whatever else is going on chemistry-wise, if it's a team thing, is it part of the coaching staff? Don't know. But this is not an Auburn team that deserves to be in the NCAA tournament.
Last year, they beat Mississippi State by 22 points in Josh Hubbard. He did have 17 points, but he shot 2 of 12.
Okay, big difference.
Yeah.
Got most of his points at the free throw line.
So you mentioned it. They're up 356 left to go in the game. Auburn goes on a 1 for 8 from the field shooting for the rest of the game. And so Mississippi State gets the win. Now, Keyshawn Hall, he was back from his suspension. He had 29 points. But defense has been the problem. And I went back and I looked at this. If you look at the top guards that Auburn has faced and their ability to make 3-point shots, you had Philon, he went for 25 points, 6 3-pointers. You had Vandy's Tyler Tanner. He had 25 points. He hit 6 3-pointers. You had Darius Acuff. He goes for 31 points, 7 3-pointers. You see the theme developing here?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Josh Hubbard last night go for 46 points, and he hit 10 3-pointers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, their perimeter defense is abysmal. And when you go up against these teams that you have these really good hot shooters and they have one of those nights with the poorest defense that Auburn plays, that's problematic, and that's a recipe for you to lose, and that's what they did last night.
I was thinking about hoop it up teams if we're going to put one together. Philon, Darius Acuff, and Josh Hubbard.
That'd be a good 3. Be a fantastic 3, without a doubt. So it's Auburn's 5th straight loss. It's the longest losing streak for the Tigers since they have a 7-game skid back in 2015-16. That was back when Stephen Pearl his dad, Bruce Pearl, in his 2nd year on the Plains. Auburn now in 12th place in the Southeastern Conference. They have a 5-8 record, 14-12 overall.
If we go SEC storied here, one guy I thought about, looking at the outputs of A-Cuff, what we got from Phylon and what we got from Hubbard, I thought about Chris Jackson when he played at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
He would have those type of nights.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went back and I looked. You guys realize he scored 50 or more points in a game 4 times. His career high, he had 55 points against Ole Miss on March 4th of 1989.
He was something else.
But what that just puts in perspective what we saw last night. Have we ever had that many guys?
Not on one night of basketball. I mean, it was nuts.
I mean, that might be the best. And other games in different situations in the tournament, right, carry more weight. But that might be the best single game performance I've ever seen in college basketball, in SEC basketball.
If I have to have right now, I'd say this: if game's on the line, I've got to have one guy in college basketball to take that last shot. I'm picking that freshman, Darius Acuff.
Yeah, he's outstanding. All right, let's hear from Stephen Pearl outside the locker room last night there at the Hump as he discusses the defense or the lack thereof of Josh Hubbard.
The game plan was to keep the ball in his hands the entire game. We did not execute that in the first half, and we had to just completely go play 4-on-3 after that and double the ball. So we just didn't execute what we were trying to do in the ball screens and the handoffs. That's what we were supposed to do the entire game.
Says we were supposed to be doing it the entire game. So they had to remind them at halftime that this kid's pretty good. We need to
he's all right.
Kind of play the box in one. And big loss for Auburn, 91-85. The final good news is they got Kentucky coming up, and that's a quad 1 opponent. So if you can win that one, then things are back to looking potentially good for Auburn based on what they have left.
But you heard after the game, Stephen Pearl came out and said it. If we lose on Saturday, we're on the bubble, and we're probably not on the right side of it.
No. I don't think you're on the right side of it. Well, I realize the strength of schedule, but
Goes back to the football analogy.
it goes back to how are you playing down the stretch?
We talked about it during the college football
I
season.
haven't talked to an Auburn fan that believes that they should be in the tournament.
It was an incredible win by Alabama in Athens.
Yep.
But that game can only take you so far, because then when you lose to Oklahoma at home, then you kind of put yourself in dangerous territory. And then when you have an embarrassing SEC championship game, people are wondering if this team should be in the college football playoff. There's only so far that the equity that you built by beating Florida.
Yeah.
Because when you lose to Mississippi State and you're a 7-point favorite on the road against that team,
then you can't make the argument of, hey, we're playing this stretch of games. Look how close we were against these quad 1s. No, we just went. And to fall behind as bad as you did, to come back as impressive as that was, but to lose a 7-point lead late against that team doesn't go in your favor for sure. I think the most disappointing thing about this Auburn team is you look at them, you've seen them at times, and before they lost their swagger, their confidence, this team definitely has the potential. They should be a tournament team, just with the scoring that they have and a little bit of defense. But it just hasn't worked.
Well, and Keyshawn, to his credit, he was great last night. 29 points, 10 rebounds.
Pettiford gives you what, 21?
Yeah, but in the first half, it was pretty much just Hall, and the other guys kind of took them a while to get going. It's just that's what's got to frustrate you. You have the talent, but they just don't seem to gel at the same time.
And I guess the good thing about NIL and the transfer portal is you can find another group of guys that hopefully work better together next season if that's the issue. But also, if the reports are true on a recent story that was put out, and I'm trying to remember who I could attribute it to, but the belief is that Auburn is in the $12 million range for this year's roster on NIL.
That's going to be a tough sell next year.
That might be the response when you go back to that guy and ask for that check again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crickets.
We will continue to talk about a wild night around college basketball. We're wide open this first hour. Would love to hear from you. 1-800-239-WJOX, the courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. So much to get into on this Thursday. Thanks for listening. This is Jock's Three-Man Front. Well, for a short time last night, it looked like it was going to be a rough night in the Van Order household because Texas A&M was getting beat like a drum to the Ole Miss Rebels. But Buckyball, they prevail, 80-77 against the Rebels. And then Alabama wins in overtime, double overtime. So, man, the Van Order household.
It was a great night. No Olympics, A&M wins, and Alabama wins. So it was a great night.
It was a great night, yeah.
The only way to cap it off, Mountain Brook girls, boys, any action there in the state tournament?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody was asking me about that. I was like, sorry, I just do the football and volleyball.
He's so fake.
He is fake.
I'm
glad you realized it.
I'm a
finally.
busy person right now. I'm normally not, but I have been for the last couple of weeks. I'm normally not.
Maybe you could get the football team to help you move.
I thought you were helping.
That might be a violation. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because I can't tip them or anything.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Well, what'd you teach me the other day? Put it in
do whatever you want
the armrest
The
in
console,
the car, the
yeah.
console, center
Mhm.
console.
And have them park your car.
Slide $100 in there.
Park your car.
Well, flu season is here, so make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. It removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. It's 100 times more effective than standard air filters and 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. So go and find a dealer near you at Trane.com.
Conrad, just to let you know, Mountain Brook boys take on the Homewood boys tomorrow.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
That'd
Don
be a good
Don was asking me about that. Yeah, I think Don Don's going.
Is he? Are y'all going to go together?
No, I'm just so busy.
Tailgate in the gym parking lot.
That probably gets you put on a list.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm.
It's
Which one's yours? None of them.
it's a great. It's the older model white van with no windows that raises the red flag with administrators.
You got like a nephew or a niece, but nope.
Nope. Way to select good ball.
Well, speaking of good ball, UAB, they can do it on the road. They did it again last night, 76-71 against Temple. Chance Westry, who grew up right down the road in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, he shows out last night, 24 points, 8 assists in a return to his home state. Jacob Meyer back from injury. He also had a very impactful game. He scored 18 points, grabbed 6 rebounds. And the Blazers extend its road winning streak to an amazing 8 games. It's 7 games in regards to conference play, 8 overall. That extends a school record. So the Blazers now 17-10, 8-6 in the American. They're currently in 5th place. So you literally are knocking on the door of the potential of getting a bye in the tournament that you're hosting. So I know in the postgame show, David Crane asked Andy, can we just schedule all road games for the rest of the season? And you hate to say that because Bartow has been a very difficult place for teams to win.
Why don't we expand the Bartow renovation where they have to play somewhere else?
Oh, my goodness gracious. It's just a crazy, crazy stat that this basketball team just does not perform very well at home, but on the road, they get it done.
So going back to what Andy said about the shooting, you hear it at the end of the year banquet. Now, statistically, this is the worst collection of shooters I've ever had. But
At home, they're the worst we've ever had.
these guys were the best team that I've ever had on the road. This has got to be, he's never had a team win.
No. In the history of school since Gene Bartow.
But how many teams are winning 8 true road games across college basketball?
Memphis, they are 2-10 on the season on the road. Now, keep in mind, that's away from FedEx Forum because Memphis plays in a lot of highbrow tournaments, preseason holiday tournaments and stuff like that. But they've only won 2 games, and unfortunately, one of those 2 wins was in Bartow Arena.
Yeah, that's all right. We pay them back on Sunday, right?
Yeah, that's an early 11 o'clock tip, 10:30 pregame show over on Jocks too. But I did like the 5:30 pregame show last night.
Oh yeah,
It was like
those early tips.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was a quick game, too. Another fun fact about last night's UAB game. Up until about less than 2 minutes to go in the first half, neither team had a turnover.
That's good basketball right there.
Another reason why that game was clicking on by. Now, both of them, it went into halftime. Each team had 1. Now, think about that. In today's college basketball and the fast-paced nature in which most offenses are, 2 total turnovers.
Well, that's like I was watching the Houston-Iowa State game the other night, which fantastic basketball game. I think they had 3 turnovers in the second half. Like it was just up and down the court.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So big win for Andy and UAB. He was much
Good job, AK.
He was much more happy in the postgame last night. Needless to say.
But the flight was a lot better.
Yeah. But it was really cool because Chance Westry's dad and a bunch of family were sitting behind the UAB bench last night.
Oh, cool.
And so, of course, Chance played at Auburn, and then he went to Syracuse, and now he's at UAB. So
A guy that's been just hampered with injuries his entire career. But, yeah, that's
he had a really good
to
game
see.
last night. 24 points for the Blazers. As they get the win, they get Memphis. Memphis plays tonight down in Tampa against the first-place Bulls. So
A team that Rocco thinks potentially could be that 12 seed if they're to win the American tournament.
Mhm.
He's saying yesterday, of all the 12 seeds, he could see this South Florida team maybe getting to the Sweet 16.
they're good.
They are.
They're really good. All right, when we come back on Three-Man Front, we'll open up the phone lines, 1-800-239-WJOX, the Courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. Rodney or Rob Pate next hour. We've got Olympic hockey gold medal game coming up in the noon hour. So much in front of us here on Three-Man Front. It is 10:34 here on Jocks. Welcome back into the program on this Thursday. A lot of basketball talk. And speaking of basketball, NCAA President Charlie Baker this morning, he gave an interview, and he was asked about the tournament expansion This is a direct quote about the NCAA tournament possibly moving along from the 68 that it has been the last few years. He says, "We're still talking about it. I would like to see it expand." So nothing has changed there. Most people will tell you that maybe after this season concludes that they will really put some important people in a room and try to figure this out. But I would anticipate, just me, a little prediction, I think next year it will be a brand new number and it'll be expanded.
What do we hear about first? The NCAA tournament expanding or the official details on the playoff for college football?
Tournament expanding.
Oh, yeah. That's the
I agree with
NCAA.
that.
I mean, this is their moneymaker.
Yeah, this is our moneymaker.
I mean, the NCAA makes no money whatsoever for the exception of the billions of dollars that they get for the NCAA basketball tournament from CBS and from TNT TBS. So, I mean, they will once again, more inventory, more viewers,
Every additional
more
team
advertisers.
makes up the lost money in all of these court cases in small towns across the country,
Mhm.
right?
So I anticipate that this will happen in the offseason. So we will have expanded brackets. You'll have what now? Probably two. You'll probably have one first four site out west, and then you'll continue to have the one in Dayton. I think that's the general plan I've read. So
2 parts of the country.
mhm.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I'm okay with it. I'm ready for it. We've seen enough upside downness that this seems mild.
Well, and you brought it up with Rocco, when we were talking about it the other day, and you asked him, who are the Cinderellas? And it's like, there's just not as many now
You do it.
because of the domination of power, the power four and where the money goes. And if you expand the tournament, maybe you get an opportunity for more of those teams to potentially get in and have those Cinderellas again.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem. That was my biggest fear is those cool stories that you got with those teams, like your St. Peter's and those guys. Though the money's too big, and to fill out a 13 roster spots on a Power 4 roster, you can afford to pay a guy $200,000, $250,000, $300,000, which is probably about $275,000 more than he's getting at his current school.
Yeah.
For a new experience and
Did we just win
in
a
a
medal?
bigger stage.
Now, a little bit of confusion. Jordan Stoltz, I was told that he was supposed to be racing like an hour ago. And according to everything we're seeing now, he is warming up. So that race has not taken place. He's going for another gold medal. This will be in the 1,500 meters. And he still has a couple other events available. He is trying to tie Eric Heiden from the 1980 Olympics for the most gold medals by a skater. So
Stoltz is. He looks like he's zoned in. He's got some quads on him, doesn't he?
sure does.
I like his outfit.
That's what Conrad's going to be wearing with
Yeah.
Damien. Something similar. How about our friends at Noto Roofing? We got rain in the forecast. Storm season is approaching. You want to make sure that your biggest investment, your home, is protected. And you're going to deal with some great guys. They're brothers, Sammy and Matt Noto, right here. They grew up in Birmingham. They know you, they know the area, and they know what you expect. They're going to work alongside your insurance company. They're going to assist in the claims process. Noto Roofing. Noto Roofing. They got folks like Chris, talented professional, been in it almost 3 decades. He's going to come out to your house, going to be very honest and open about what he finds. He's not going to recommend you buying something that you don't need. Ventilation inspections, all kinds of inspections. They're free to all Jocks listeners. They offer financing to help with the payments, warranties available as well. If you're not satisfied, they're not satisfied. They're going to make sure you walk away happy. It's Noto Roofing. Say yes to Noto. NOTOroofing.com, NOTOroofing.com. When you call, Sammy's going to answer the phone. Always tell him Landrum from Jock sent you.
So we'll keep an eye on what's going on over in Italy. We've got hockey gold medal game against the women, Canada versus U.S. That's coming up at 12:10. And I understand, Molly, that I think we just got a win. I'm getting some text messages, and I think the United States women curling team just had a good morning. I understand, if I'm correct on this.
It was a walk-off win.
Walk-off?
win.
Slide off or walk-off?
Google tells me it's a walk-off, but,
Slide off.
Just
slide off makes more sense.
Yeah.
A knockoff. Did we win by knocking their stone out of the circle?
I'm trying to find a replay.
So you've been watching.
I did actually
You
watch some
stinker.
curling last night.
Yeah, we defeated Switzerland.
So was that for a medal?
We now move on to the semifinals.
Okay.
I think
Yes.
this might be. It was extra ends, by the way.
Ooh.
Walk off.
Bonus time everywhere.
I know.
But if we're one behind Italy in the medal count?
According to our three-man front curling expert, and if you remember about a week ago, we had live curling action on this radio show as FSU Dave.
Mm-hmm.
He is our official curling expert. He tells me that the measurement, almost a measurement, it was that close in regards to the final stone.
That's awesome.
So
America.
extra
America.
ends.
This is a tough day for FSU Dave because he has the dual citizenship.
But he told us yesterday, if it's the U.S. versus Canada, he's USA.
Yeah, he's pulling for the USA.
And then if it's Canada, like yesterday, he was rooting for Canada in the men's in their overtime game.
But in that situation, the United States loses.
Are you still happy?
Are you proud for Canada?
No. You better not be.
It's unique. I don't know how that works.
I think if Canada wins, he has to move back to Canada for a year.
Who? FSU Dave?
For 1 year. Maybe he's the bad luck.
No, we like him.
No, we
I
like
do.
Dave.
Yeah.
Y'all are fun.
Who are we going to make fun of when FSU goes 2-10?
It's a good point. He can stay.
You want,
No, I need him to stay until what is that, like September 20th?
and that's like the third game of the year?
Yeah,
Who's going to make me my shepherd's pie?
that's right.
I love FSU Dave.
Oh, he's fantastic. But yeah, he's, unlike Conrad, he's big into the Olympics. I mean, he's
Well,
glued in.
And that was his profession, was officiating a Olympic sport.
International competition. So
Yep.
yeah.
Fluent in multiple languages.
Mm-hmm. He digs it.
What do you think his passport looks like?
A lot of stamps. A lot of stamps.
I would love to hear some of those stories. The circuit when he was a younger lad.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that got interesting.
You ever go to the Olympic Village, Dave?
Oh my.
I would. They seem to all get along very
Is that
well.
what you would volunteer for if you were a volunteer? Hey, I want to work the Olympic Village.
I don't know if I wouldn't want to work the cleaning crew.
No.
Definitely not.
Mm-mm.
You'd have good stories though.
It's every Olympics. It doesn't matter where it is, right? Except for, I guess, the COVID Olympics. That's when it got a little.
I don't think it mattered then either.
little plexiglass.
Keep your mask on.
I can't breathe.
We are still waiting on Joey Aguilar, his case up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Still no word on what's going to happen there. Waiting for the judge. Remember, he told us last Friday it was going to come in short order, and here we are. We're Thursday, almost a week later, and we still don't have a decision. What do you have to decide?
This judge is operating just like the NCAA when it came to infractions.
I mean, it's goodness gracious. What's going on
Hey,
there?
we got spring ball starting up soon, Your Honor.
Yeah. We didn't know if we have a quarterback or
Well,
not.
I hate to say poor, but poor Joey Aguilar. Where's he going to be next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he at one point? Wasn't he like a firefighter or something? Like, didn't he?
I
Step
think he was
away?
going to go to Fire Academy.
Yeah, he was going to go to the
something like
fire
that.
academy, and then he got to play more.
Or maybe a forest ranger or something.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, he's going to go to the combine for 2 days. His allotted 2 days,
What are those
and no more
interviews
than
like?
that, so he can come back.
What do you say in the interview? Well, I'm here, but
I'm
I
here.
may not be here.
I don't think I'm quite ready, but if the judge rules against me, then you know what? I'm probably ready.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be interesting.
it's wild.
Feel
But
like
yeah.
the judge is going to rule in his favor, but why is it taking so long?
Well, and that's the crazy thing is coming off the hearing on Friday, everybody came out of it feeling so negative about it. It felt like he had already made his mind up, and now here we are, almost a week later.
Or he's ruled against it, and he's still writing out his explanation as to why. For all the Tennessee fans,
I'm gonna make sure they know I'm not biased.
yeah, all the Tennessee fans and all those in Knox County.
Well, okay, so what if you're right? Because these are the same attorneys that with the Trinidad case, they weren't there for the ruling, right? They left early, and
Yeah.
the judge made a bit about it. So what?
Oh, I got news on that. That's a great segue, and you didn't even know I was going there.
Are they going to jail?
This This is being reported right now that the NCAA has been called back to Pittsburgh, Mississippi.
Yes.
The judge has ordered a show cause to the NCAA, which requires them to personally appear before the court.
Oh boy.
Well, that was my thing. So are they just hanging out in Knoxville? Did they go back and then they're gonna, like?
So the order reads as follows: This cause is before the court on its own or a tennis motion to require the attorneys for the National Collegiate Athletic Association, gave the names of the attorneys in the above styled cause, to personally appear before the court and show cause and explain why all of them left the courtroom in the Calhoun County Courthouse in Pittsburgh, Mississippi on Thursday, February 12th, before the conclusion of the petitioner, Trinidad Chambliss' first amended petition for preliminary and permanent injunctive relief. The attorney's departure was made without obtaining the court's prior permission and approval. This matter will be addressed at a later proceeding, at which time the court will decide whether to some form of sanctions against the aforementioned attorneys, if any, are appropriate under the circumstances. So they have to show back up in court, or they could have just stayed.
And
It's so petty. It's great.
Oh, but this judge, don't you want to make them sit there as long as you possibly can?
Absolutely.
So as we know, one of the attorneys is in Knoxville.
Yeah,
but
with
he's
the
now
Aguilar
going to.
case.
So what if he's in Pittsburgh to go to this situation,
and then
he doesn't show up in Knoxville, and then he gets a show calls by that attorney.
What if
by
that's
that
why
judge.
it's taking so long? Because the two judges are in cahoots and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get them good."
Hey, Bob, that town you reference is godforsaken? Well, guess what? You got to go back.
Yeah. I also find it interesting how the NCAA loves to hand out show cause orders like they have to Jeremy Pruitt and all these other people. And now the judge has given them a show cause.
I want the opening line from the judge to be, "It was the best of times. It was the worst of times." Just start reading.
Just start filibustering for like 8 hours.
7 days later.
Well, we know for sure that he can do that. I mean, he read for an hour and 15 minutes.
He did.
So, I mean, he could read the Manhattan phone book. Keep up.
In the beginning, there was the word.
Just recap every Ole Miss football season from the beginning of time until now.
Okay, when we come back, we might have some news coming out of Italy. They are getting ready to skate.
Come on, Georgia.
Come on.
So we'll tell you all about that next on Three Man Front. So would you like to break the news?
Jordan Stoltz did not win gold. A guy from China did.
But he got a medal. He got
He did.
silver.
He did.
I'm happy for him.
No, I'm happy for him.
Okay.
I wanted him to get gold, but there you go.
His third medal in 3 races. Pretty daggum good.
Yeah, it's not bad. That is not bad.
2 gold and a silver. Not bad. Not bad at all.
No.
Yeah, it's tough when the guy in front of you said so. Well, was it a world record or an
Olympic record. Yeah,
so-
that's going to be hard to beat.
And Stoltz had 2 Olympic records in his previous
Mhm.
races. So
Look at that. Oh. Yeah, Olympic record.
0.77 behind the Chinese.
That's crazy.
And they are coached by Johan de Witt.
So a Dutch
Mhm.
guy, I suppose.
Yep.
Still has 1 event left over in Italy, but still a great Olympics for
Yeah,
Stoltz. That's
absolutely.
amazing. Three races, 3 medals, gold and a silver. Very, very good for him. We will talk to Rodney Orr coming up at the top of the hour. We'll talk a little basketball with him. And, of course, as always, some college football. Rob Pate will join the program. And then we will keep you posted in the 12 noon hour as the United States women's hockey team is going for gold against the Canadians. We beat them before 5-0 in the preliminaries, but keep in mind the world's best female hockey player did not play for Canada in that game. So
Wait a minute. I'm also reading. I think we have a guy from the United States that is also serving on the Chinese coaching staff.
okay.
Oh, a defector?
I think he's a defector. I think he's a contractor. I think he's there to help. Well, at least they're coming to America, right?
Mhm.
For resources.
Yes. We were just talking about
Script has flipped.
we were just talking about the judge over in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss made some news last night. They have added Coach Mike Stoops to its staff. You remember Stoops? He was recently the inside linebacker coach for his brother at Kentucky. He's an Iowa alum. He's made stops at Kansas State, Oklahoma, FAU. He was also an analyst at the University of Alabama. And he was also the head football coach of the Arizona Wildcats for 7 seasons. So he is now going to work with Pete Golding and the Ole Miss Rebels. So
That's a
been
good
added to
addition.
the staff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember when he was in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean,
Man,
it's
that staff that they had
something
in
else.
that other building. Like, whoa.
The good old days, right?
Yeah.
The good old days.
Yeah.
That was when everybody just wanted an opportunity to witness greatness every day.
They just
walking
wanted-
into that building.
They were like, look, I'll work for free as long as I can put on my resume
Yeah.
that I was technically in this building and that I was a member of this staff some way.
Yeah,
some
Butch
form
Jones was
or
a
fashion.
water boy, and he was happy to be. He did a great job hydrating the coaches.
And he got a head coaching job at Arkansas State.
Exactly.
Go Red Wolves.
You had Derek Dooley, who's now going to run for Senate in the state of Georgia. He was another one that was getting coffee for Nick Saban.
Sark technically was an analyst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Until they fired Kiffin.
Was it Charlie Strong?
Oh, yeah. Charlie Strong during the COVID, Charlie Strong's job, you know what his job was? When Nick Saban got COVID, during that week that he was away from the team, Strong would walk around practice with an iPad, and Coach Saban at his house would watch. And literally, Strong was
Yep.
on the field, like behind the line and everything. And you could see the big face of Nick Saban watching practice.
If you ever watched The Big Bang Theory, it would always take me back to those episodes.